football from a coach's perspective and a player's perspective, and he's willing to listen to us, and that means a lot, I know, to the players. And for somebody to, he's the kind of the one who is in charge of all that stuff, and to see value in that, because there is value in that, just kind of shows how in depth he goes into wanting to make this team great. And so it trickles down from the players, from the leaders, into the players, and we're all in.
Christian, happy belated birthday also.
Thanks.
I know you don't work too closely with him, but if I could ask you, what have been your observations of Terrace Marshall in this offseason so far?
Yeah, Terrace to me has had a massive leap from last year. I think not just physically but mentally too. I know he was dealing with some injuries last offseason, and obviously coming in as a rookie and not getting that time in OTAs. I know what that's like. My rookie year, I wasn't able to come because of the graduation rule, which since has changed. So, you're kind of getting thrown into the fire in training camp, and to see him out here and how he's practicing, the intensity that he's practicing with, I'm extremely excited for him.
Christian, what are your thoughts on Coach McAdoo's offense so far? What's different about it, and how are you guys picking it up?
Man, I love it. I think we all love it. I think the thing we love most about it is the guys doing it, and obviously Coach McAdoo has a resume that speaks for itself. Somebody who's coached every single position, and his knowledge of every single position is outstanding. And so a lot of us are just sponges right now, trying to learn as much info as possible. But at the end of the day, it's about us executing on the field. It's about the players making the plays happen, and knowing our job, knowing our assignments, and not beating ourselves.
Christian, without getting into specifics, is it a drastic change from last year's playbook or previous seasons? And is it, you're excited about it, obviously, but I mean, is it something that maybe will feature you a little bit differently, a little bit more? I mean, without getting into specifics.
Yeah, I think those are all questions for him. I personally love the offense. I love every offense I'm in. You know what I mean? I think they're all plays are designed to work. And so for me, it's just about buying in and doing my job and knowing my assignment and executing at a high level. And that's really what I'm focused on. There's a reason that he's the offensive coordinator, and it's because he's extremely good at what he does. And it's our job to listen and to execute. And that's really all that I'm focused on, and that's all that the players are focused on too, is doing your job, doing it at a high level, eliminating self-inflicted wounds, and making plays.
Any more questions?
Are you okay if they start to kind of watch your reps and try, for lack of a better word, put you in a bubble wrap a little bit to make sure you're good for game days, or do you want to be practice?
I just know I'll be ready to go. At the end of the day, I'll be ready to go. This is NFL football, and I know I'll be ready to go.
Christian, there's still reports and talk that you guys would consider somebody other than Sam at quarterback, veteran quarterback elsewhere. Are you surprised with that sort of this late in the calendar, and any concern that could be a distraction as you guys get ready for camp?
All that stuff's out of my control. All I'm focused on is the guys we got in the locker room right now, and making sure we all show up, check our boxes, lock in, perform at a high level, and that's the only thing to focus on. I think as soon as your focus goes off of that, now you're not focused on your job. And so we have a hard enough job as it is, and there's other people in positions who make decisions that are the reasons that I don't make those decisions. So for me, it's doing my job, doing it at a high level, and making sure everyone else does the same.
I've heard you be supportive. We've heard you voice support for Sam before, and the two of you are pretty close. What have you seen out of him this spring? Are you still kind of in his corner?
Yeah. Sam's been great. Sam's been awesome. I think he's shown up every day with a learning mentality. He's made some great throws, and I've said this from the jump, but the head coach and the quarterback get way too much credit, way too much blame. And football's the biggest team game in the world. It's never one guy. There's 11 guys on the field at one time, and every little detail matters. So, once again, for me, it's making sure I'm in the right places. It's not my job to worry about Sam. It's not my job to worry about any of the receivers or this or that. I need to be where I'm supposed to be, because if I'm not, I can make a lot of other people look bad because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. So I'm just locked in on doing my job and doing it at a high level.
Christian, there was a lot of emphasis this offseason on putting new offensive line pieces in place. I know it's hard to see when everybody's out there in shorts this time of year, but what kind of difference can you see in that group from a year ago?
I never like comparing, right? Every team does things, in, their own way. The one thing I love about this team, though, and specifically the O-line, is the level of attention to detail and communication, not just on the field, but in the meeting room as well. And everybody wants to be on the same page with the backs, with the quarterback. It's a lot of information, and so it takes a lot of studying. And so, a lot of the new guys that we brought in, obviously guys like Elfine, who has been here for a year, we've all just made it a point to take a massive jump in the way we operate, not just in practice, but making sure we get things cleaned up outside of practice in the meeting room. If it means extra meetings, that's what it takes. And the leadership in that room is exciting for me. Obviously, I love O-linemen, so I love the way those guys show up every single day and prepare and practice, and they're a bunch of professionals, so I'm excited to work with them.
How would you describe the diversity of talent inside the running back room this year? We saw a lot of different guys today catching passes, getting handoffs, and they all look different. How would you describe the talent level in there and how they all complement each other?
Yeah, I think everyone's talented in our room. We have such a good room. Guys show up every day with a will to learn, which is obviously the first start. Good understanding of the game. The running back position can be a lot mentally sometimes with all the different things that we're asked to do, and so these guys buy in. Obviously, you got a lot of fast guys. There's strong guys. There's guys who are patient, make guys miss, and so I think the word you use, there's a diversity of talent, which is exciting because it means you can do a lot with the ball, and it also, hopefully brings up a lot of challenges for the defenses as well. So I'm excited, and I'm happy to be in the room that I am. I love those guys.
All right, thanks, Christian.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good summer.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, man. When I got re-signed back, I just said it was a blessing coming back to work again with these coaching staff and the guys, man. Just for them to trust me on the field, man, it's big to me, and it's a bigger role for me to take on this year. So, yeah, like I said, man, just come in, did what I did better last year, and just trying to make the most of my chance.
Can you describe that bigger role? Like, what do you anticipate that being this year and how it changes?
They moved me a lot inside, moving outside, kind of on third downs, and then inside more run down, first, second down. Just trying to use me everywhere. So, you know, when one dude go down, like Shaq when he went down last year, you know, just trying to fill in those voids. So pretty much it.
You guys were a pretty strong defense last season. What are you kicking up another level? Is it attitude? Is it technique? Is it just, you know, being a bunch of dogs?
Yeah, it all comes down to that. Attitude, grit. I mean, like effort and energy. I feel like it's huge. It's a young team, young defense, and you're just trying to have that atmosphere where you go in, man, have that mentality like this is our house, you know, and you got to go through us. For me, it's like energy. I don't know, you guys see me. I'm big on energy and just trying to feed off. I'm not much of a talker, so I kind of lead differently. So for the guys, you know, I do a little chant in the beginning and just trying to have them going on, you know, either through practice and you know, just spark something out of the defense. So we just keep flying around and be that defense like last year, but better though.
What have you seen different about this team this offseason compared to last year?
You know, guys are getting to know each other, you know, earlier on this phase in OTAs. And just us, like, vets, I'm also considered as a young guy, just helping out with, like, the young guys, trying to get them along. Just having that close relationship, that bonding time, I feel like plays a huge part.
You mentioned bonding. How big was some of the stuff y'all did last week with the games and all to
Oh yeah, it was. We were competitive. You know, guys were getting after it, and like I said, man, it's like anything we do as a team. If everybody's like competitive about it, so.
Frankie, when you were given the opportunity to come here last year, what was your mentality as you tried to seize that? And, you know, how does that change or not change now that you decided to come here?
And my mentality coming in, just trying to take someone's job. I mean, you know, I was undrafted. That was kind of like my edge on, you know, I wasn't the smartest. But I feel like for me, just to jump out on the field with my effort and trying to, you know, flash on film, man, that was kind of my edge on coming in. It don't matter where I go. That's just how I operate. So yeah.
You operate with that same mentality now that you're signed?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Can't change.
Can't change.
How do you feel your grasp on the playbook is and the plethora of roles that they have you playing? Like, are you still in a learning phase, or do you feel like you got it, you can move faster now than the others around you?
I kind of pick it up real slow now. I kind of played like the Will backer last year when Shaq went down. So mostly I was playing Sam, now Will, and getting more into Mike. So kind of learning all them three phases. Just add more to my play. I told Coach Snow, man, just, you know, pour some of Chin's, some of his play on mine, man. I know Chin's thinking a lot. I want him to play fast, you know, so kind of that, yeah.
Do you think you can take even more?
Yeah.
Any more questions? All right, thanks, Frank.
Appreciate you guys.
A lot of guys bought in. Everybody's out here playing for each other, playing as a team, as a unit. Everybody's doing their job, holding everybody accountable, and making sure we help out the rookies, get equipped, and getting everything to be successful in this league, and just bringing them up to be with us, because you never know what happens in this league. And as long as they're prepared, we'll be all good.
Speaking of the rookies, what do you think about Brandon Smith so far?
I like him. You know what I mean? He's just like me as a rookie, too, so I figure it out. I'm there to help him, mentor him. He's doing a good job so far.
Shaq, if you were going to describe Frankie to someone who doesn't know him, how would you do that?
Frankie is Frankie. If you don't know Frankie, then there ain't no way to describe him. Frankie's Frankie. He's always going to be himself. He's energetic. He's a leader. He's a big part of our defense. He's one you can count on to make a play. He's one you count on off the field to be there for you. Frankie's just Frankie. That's all I can say about Frankie.
Do you ever see him when he doesn't have that energy?
Nah, he always got that energy. That's like I said, Frankie is Frankie. You know what I mean? It's like there's no way to describe him but Frankie. You know what I mean? It's just Frankie.
Zach, you played golf with Matt a while back, didn't you? What did you learn about him through that experience, and what do you think he learned about you being able to share those moments that you couldn't in the past?
I think we still shared the moments. Just being out there, just to get to know each other a lot more, understand each other a lot more, and we're on the same page. You know what I mean? And we got the same goal in mind. We want to win, make a playoff game, and we just want to be in the winning column this year. You know what I mean? And golf takes a lot from everybody. We found out we both are not that good. He might be a little better than me, but we still have some fun. You know what I mean? That's all it's about. It's fun.
Was that the whole experience last week? Help this team, you think?
What experience?
All that bonding and games.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We gotta know our teammates. You know what I mean? I don't want to be out there playing for it. That's what kind of happened like the first year was just with COVID. You know what I mean? Like we just go out there playing just to play. You know what I mean? Now we know each other. We know each other's kids, families, situations, stuff like that. Now it's just like we're a tight-knit group. You know what I mean? It's just like we'd rather play for this than play for that. And like I said, guys are buying in. You know what I mean? You can see it.
Shaq, was that particularly tough too? I mean, I know every team had to deal with COVID, but you guys had a pretty big roster overhaul and a lot of turnover that offseason before COVID. Did that kind of make it even doubly hard?
Just we weren't able to do what we can. You know, we had to do meetings virtual. You know what I mean? That's tough for having a new coach and new team and stuff like that. We just had to get accustomed to the new rules and stuff like that. And it was tough, but you could see each year, you know what I mean, we're getting better. You know what I mean? And I think this year could be the year. You know what I mean? I'm not going to speak in the future, but right now, we're a solid team.
Matt was talking about how tough it was following a guy like Ron Rivera that was beloved by his players. How much do you think that impacted that transition with him coming in, pandemic and all that?
I don't think it impacted much. It's just guys just getting used to him, you know, and trying to understand him. I think that's the biggest thing. But once you understand him and know what he's about and know what he wants to do, you know what I mean, you're like, damn, it's just like Ron. You know what I mean? Just want to win football games. And I'm not saying they're the same people, but, you know what I mean, we all, like I said, we're all on the same page. We just want to win, you know, just win. That's how we all get paid. That's how we keep our jobs. And that's how we fit each other.
I was wondering, what are your thoughts on C.J. Henderson? Have you noticed more comfort about him?
CJ?
Yeah.
CJ's my dog, man. CJ's out there. He stepped up big. He's out there talking, communicating, playing fast. Has a lot of confidence in himself. That probably stems from him, off-season work, and just getting him used to the team, used to how things are being ran. But I think it's also Coach Wilkes probably has a big input on that. You know what I mean? With this, we have a young secondary, but he's instilling like you got to talk on this defense. You got to be a leader, and that's what CJ's doing. And he's stepping up, and he could be a big impact in this defense.
When that many veterans get the day off, what are the benefits from that, from like a trickle-down?
Who got the day off? I ain't see nobody with the day off. But I ain't see that. But, yeah, I mean, with us having that day off, we got to lock in more. We got to help coach, right? And there's a lot of us out there coaching our positions, coaching the players. Just like I said, we gotta get them up to our level. And once that happens, then, man, the sky's the limit. You know what I mean? So it helps us, too, to be mentally locked into practice and knowing what everybody's doing, even knowing what we got to do. So, I mean, it worked out.
How would you describe it then rather than a day off?
Man, we just got to be coaches today. Yeah, you know what I mean? We're just coaches today. No vet day. Coaches. Coaches day. There you go.
Something like that gives you guys maybe a little bit more ownership of what you're doing. I mean, you as the vets, schooling the young guys and coaching and making it more of a players' team.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely Rule definitely wants us to be a player-driven team, and y'all can't see it, but we can see it. And he's letting us do a lot more and letting us control a lot more. And but at the end of the day, it's about football. He steps in when he needs to steps in, and the leaders, the vets, you know what I mean, we step in majority of the time. But when he needs to, he needs to. And just go out there, control it, control practice. We control the tempo, control running for the defense, running to the ball. Christian and them boys running through the line and stuff like that. So he's letting us do a lot more. But we all, like I said, we all on the same page.
You talk about the struggles of COVID and being apart, and now you guys are playing together and that sort of thing. It's hard to assess because you guys are in, helmets and shorts, that sort of thing. But do you feel that the progress during OTAs is where you want it going into training camp in a couple of weeks, or is there still?
It definitely is. I think we're at a good spot. Even when we end on Thursday, I think we're at a good spot going into training camp, like you said. But the biggest thing is just staying mentally ready for training camp and being prepared and staying in shape and staying on football. You know what I mean? You don't have to be in it, but stay. What do you got to do? Study. So you understand going into camp. You know what I mean? Because when we get into camp, it's going to be hitting the ground running. And I don't think we can waste any time.
Shaq, you have a good example of what you were mentioning about the players sort of being more involved in decision-making or involved in the process, so to speak?
I got to keep that in-house. But nah, I don't got an example. It's just he let us do us. I mean, that's the biggest example I could just tell you. He just lets us do us. That's part of him probably just trusting us and letting us be a player-driven team. You know what I mean? And taking some stuff off his plate and putting it all on the veterans' plate.
Last one.
I think it was. I think it was a good mixture, but now it's more player-driven. Definitely a good mixture, though. Like I said, he steps in when he needs to step in.
To get at that point where players will take that responsibility?
I mean, just like anything. Like, you got to trust somebody, right? You got to trust your wife before you married her. You know what I mean? She got to trust her husband. You know what I mean? You got to trust him, right? And he started trusting us. He found his guys, and everybody's a guy, but he found the guys who could lead and who played a lot of ball, and he put his trust in them. Like, okay, well, I want you guys to run the team. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's for anything. You got to find that trust.